Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to All the Pies YouTube channel. I am Si, that is Kev. This is the Man City review. Hello, Kevin, what you doing?
Um, well, I'm just having a cup of coffee at the minute. I
Having
had
a
a
morning
few.
camp trip.
Oh, you're on the trips. He's tripping.
Early on the trips, and I've just been playing with figures.
I had a few whiskies last night to sort of drown my sorrows a little bit, so I was a little bit hazy
Yeah.
this morning. So just
Oh,
having a
dear.
coffee to sort myself out.
Oh, dear.
Yourself?
I'm just playing with my figures. Oh no, it's disabled biker mice from Mars. I've got no arm and no leg. Oh, look, it's half naked Iron Man. I'm gonna bash your head in. Oh no, here comes the Toxic Avenger. Dish, dish, I broke my neck. Yeah, fuck off. Just playing with toys.
43.
I'm 42, Kevin. I'm
Don't look
43
it.
tomorrow.
You don't look it, Simon.
No, I don't.
Got a hard paper round.
Yeah.
Should we talk about
Right.
football?
Yeah, let's. Do I have to? Right. Man City, away at the Etihad. We know we have really bad statistics against, can't think of the word, really bad history at the Etihad against Man City. So we started the team with Pope, and then we had Trippier, Lascelles, which was a shock, Botman Byrne, and we had Bruno Longstaff, Joe Linton, and then we had Miggy, Wilson, and a start for Anthony Gordon. What were your first thoughts on the team lineup?
Well, the cells came as a shock.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody sort of had an indication that was going to happen.
No.
So initially, my first thing I was thinking was, oh no, the cells on Haaland.
Yeah. I know.
So that was a little bit daunting. Yeah, we talked about Gordon getting a start, didn't we?
Yeah.
And I think I said on the last stream that he is favoured on the left hand side. That's his position.
Mm-hmm.
That's where he likes to play, and he came in for Maxi. But I mean, let's just get into it.
Well, I was first off, I was disappointed with the lineup. I would have had Maxi and Isak in, but
Would you?
that's the way it is. But yeah, so yeah, the game. So it started off first. Like this is like a current occurrence on these videos. The last three we got beat 2-0 in the first 10 minutes. Will look good.
Yeah, I know.
So,
It was, I mean, a generalization is I found the entire game really frustrating, and for a number of different factors. Yeah, I felt like we weren't awful, but we weren't great. I mean, let's go through it as we go through
yeah,
as we go along the match. So, I
yeah,
mean, the first opportunity I would say was probably the Gordon one, wasn't it, where he broke way down the left, and he's managed to cut inside.
yeah.
And I mean, it's just one of them. He's went to kick the ball, kicked in air because he stood on the ball with his other foot. It's took it away,
Yeah.
and it's one of them, isn't it? It was annoying. It was frustrating, and it looked really shit
Yeah.
when you saw it in real time. But
You
then when you
saw it
watched
in
it in
there.
slow motion, you can see what happened.
Yeah. And then did they score before the Longstaff chance, or was the Longstaff chance first?
I recall the Longstaff chance first. I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty certain the Longstaff chance was first. What did you make
Yeah.
of that one?
Well, he had too many touches.
Aye.
He had one too many touches, and that's why the defender, I can't remember who it was. The defender got in. He got a deflection, went for a corner. Too many touches.
And
He's got no confidence. He's got no confidence in front of goal.
do you know what it is, right? And I don't want to be like I told you so, but I've said the one thing about Longstaff that does annoy us, and I don't want this to sound like I'm hating on him, no, because he is having a good season, and I do like him as a player. This is my main criticism of where he goes wrong is he wants too long on the ball.
Yeah, he
Now
does take him on.
he dawdles. I've said it a lot of times in whether it's whether we've been there's been times where we've tried to break quickly and rather than just putting the pass in straight away, he does take an extra touch or two,
Yeah.
which takes the impetus out of the attack.
Or
In the box, he
or he
takes
loses
an
the
extra.
ball, or he gives it
Yeah,
away.
yeah, exactly. He
He gives it
he
away
gets
far
his
too
pocket
much.
picked
Yeah.
very occasionally by dawdling on the ball, and
Mhm.
it has to be. It must be just indecision. He needs to do something sort of cognitively to say, right, whatever my decision is, I've just got to make it up quicker, because that extra touch is it has to be him on the ball thinking, right, am I going to go right? Am I going to go left? Am I having a look around? And he
Yeah.
needs to make those decisions a bit snappier. If you take that out of his game, you see a much better Sean Longstaff. But
Yeah.
that's his main criticism. That's his main criticism. Like I say, I'm not hating on him because I do like
Yeah.
him as a player.
I like him as a player and as a person. No Shields lad, but yeah, I'm worried that maybe. Well, I'm not worried, but I'm thinking next season he'll probably be a squad player. I would imagine.
I would have thought so, yeah.
Yeah,
And a good squad player.
yeah, definitely. So then, in form, Phil Foden breaks down the left, seems to just
Beat the whole team.
easily maneuver his way past Burn, past them all, pops it in the net. 1-0
Yeah,
down.
pops it in the net. One of them had to stop him, didn't they? And then I think by the time you're getting like edge of the box into the box, they were then scared to touch him.
Yeah,
It was it's that all that it's what Maxi does. Defenders don't like it when you run at them.
yeah.
They really don't like it when you run at them with the ball, and that's what he did. And I mean, it was a good goal. Could have been
He's a
defended
quality.
better.
He's quality forward. Like, there's no doubting about it.
Oh, he's class. Aye,
He's
and
world class talent.
he's going to get better and better and better as well.
Yeah.
The bastard.
so, so then the first half continued. Who was? Did we have any more chances in the first half after that?
Yeah, we did. We had an absolutely huge chance with Callum Wilson.
Yes, we did. Oh, was that the first half?
Aye,
What was the second?
aye.
Yeah, he. Oh God.
What's happened to Callum Wilson, the
He
man I
just
love so much,
he just
as
missed the
a
ball.
centre forward, has just turned into Chris Wood.
Yeah, his confidence is just. Oh, I don't know. He doesn't seem right. He doesn't seem fit. He seems like he's carrying a knock. It just doesn't seem right.
He doesn't seem himself. I mean, the Callum Wilson that everybody knows buries that every time.
Yeah.
And now
Posters.
that miss yesterday, that's got nothing to do with being under the weather or anything. That's just a straight, a completely out of confidence and
Yeah.
out of form. Um,
Yeah.
the like I say, it was an absolute gilt edged chance,
Mm,
and most players are putting that away, let alone Callum Wilson.
I know.
If you're a number 9, if you're an out and out centre forward, that's bread and butter for you all day.
What it
That
is.
has to be going in the back of the net. I mean, I don't want to sound harsh, but I do, because when I say I found the game frustrating, it's for things like that.
Yeah.
Like all the talk coming into the game in the past few games actually is, oh, we need to get better with our finishing. We need to get better with our finishing, and we're not. We're getting worse.
Yeah. I know.
We're getting
Well,
gradually worse, and
Newcastle attackers are like me with a DIY project. Just can't finish
it's annoying. It's frustrating. That was a really good
it.
joke.
Yeah. Wasn't it?
So yeah,
Yeah.
that was a massive chance, which
So
again didn't get netted.
yeah, we moved on to the second half, and I'll admit, yeah, during the second half, I fell asleep on the sofa. So I missed the first 10 minutes of the second half.
Well, I
Um,
didn't fall
right.
asleep. I
So do
didn't
you want
fall
to
asleep.
explain what happened?
Yeah, I mean, they came out and yeah, look, it was in pretty much the same vein as the first half for the first 10 minutes or so. We were lacking possession greatly. When we were getting possession, we're giving the ball away really cheaply, passing it away. So yeah, it was very much in the same vein as the first half. Unable to get the ball. When we do get the ball, not really doing anything with it and giving it away. So yeah, thankfully around about the 60-minute mark, Eddie rang the changes, didn't he?
Yeah.
Made a triple substitution. bringing on St. Maximin for Gordon, bringing Wilson off for Isaac, and who was the third one again?
What you call him? Target.
Target, yes, Target coming on as well. So
Memory on a Sunday morning. We're gonna have to not record this on a Sunday morning.
Especially when I've had a drink the night before. But anyways, yeah, when they came on, there was an instant impact.
Yeah, it was
an instant impact. We looked so much better. Maxi was taking players on. Isaac looked incredible. He was running our players with the ball. We were passing it much better. We weren't giving away the possession. I mean, every time Isaac comes on, he makes an instant impact.
Yeah, he does.
And that was a lovely bit of centre forward play, by the way, when he knocked it round the player and just kept it in on the line. He had the one where he ran through, and the keeper just gets to it. And at first I was like, is that a penalty? And he sort of he flicked it on. It didn't look like he was going to get to the ball, and he did get to the ball. I mean, it was going out, and then the keeper comes out, and he does hit him. But yeah, you're not really getting a penalty for that. But at first I thought it might have been a penalty.
Yeah.
And you think, oh, yeah, we'll go. We might get back into this here. And then another.
They bring on.
Well,
Bernardo.
before that, we had that other massive chance again, didn't we? With Joe Linton's air shot.
Yeah, the Joe Linton shot. Yeah, he can't finish. He cannot.
I mean, there's not finishing, and then there's missing the ball. Like you're not going to finish unless your foot actually touches the ball. I find that's whenever I used to play football, I found the best way to score goals was by kicking the ball. Which didn't happen on that occasion. And I know I'm being sarcastic, but this is why I was frustrated. Again, we're carving over these chances, and what should have been a tap in, you're missing the ball from 6 yards. Something needs to be done in training about this.
They just look like they're lacking confidence across the park. They look like they're all low in confidence.
They're lacking confidence in front of goal. That's where they're lacking confidence. Because, like I say, they are still creating chances. We are still creating chances. I mean, you have to remember we're playing Man City, possibly the best team in the world yesterday. So there is going to be periods of the game where you're not going to have much possession, and they're going to have the ball and they're going to be able to pass it about. I think we dealt with that okay yesterday. I thought Lascelles actually had a decent game.
But we're going to get out down at that at the end, because I would say Lascelles was my man of the match. We'll get to that at the end. So then Pep brings on Bernardo, and then we keep having ASM and Isak just looking electric. And then what happens, Kevin?
Well, another big deflection. That's what happens.
Yeah.
It's oh no, it was the first goal that was a deflection, wasn't it? One of them was a deflection. I remember looking and seeing it was a big deflection. But yeah, against the run of play it was at the time. We looked like we were getting into it, and you thought, "Oh right, we could get an equaliser." Yeah, we're looking a lot better now. We've made the substitutions, and then not for the first time in the game. And I want to say this isn't a criticism, but I guess it is, because it needs to be needs to be like sort of nipped in the bud. Give the ball away. Trippier give the ball away, and we got punished for it. Got absolutely punished for it.
Trippier gave the ball away a lot yesterday.
He did, and he's you can't be perfect all the time. I get that, but I know he's the type of professional. He'll not sort of hide from that. He'll be the first one to put his hands up, and I believe that he can snap that out of his game. You know what I mean? For you've got to allow him a couple of mistakes. It's just unfortunately we've been punished for them yesterday, and you do against teams like Man City. Any sort of mistake, especially in that area of the field, 9 times out of 10 they punish you, and that's what happened yesterday. It was a tidy finish actually from Bernardo.
Yeah. So 2-0, and like we say, I think Byrne was probably at fault for the first goal. Trippier at fault for the second goal. Botman played well. Did look a bit nervy. Lascelles, who everyone was surprised with, our club captain, came on, and I thought he had a great game. I don't think
he did, considering who.
I think he put a foot wrong. Two
When you
starts in the league, two starts in the league this season, and I think he had a really good game.
Yeah, I mean, it's when you take into account everything as well. You know, when was his last start? Was it was it a cup game earlier in the year? He had a
Probably a
start.
cup game, but the league game was Liverpool,
Aye, and
which
then
he did really
so
well in.
he's come in against what probably is not just the best centre forward in the league, possibly the best centre forward in the world, as
Yeah,
far as I'm concerned, against Haaland. Somebody who's big and strong and
yeah,
pushes you around, and he gave as good as he got. So
yeah,
I mean, there was so many occasions where he didn't let Haaland bully him. He let him know he was there. He was getting his arm in front of him, not fouling, but letting him know he was there and that he was in the game.
yeah,
And that's that's promising. That's really
yeah.
promising. So, because I
So
was
after,
worried, you know.
yeah, so after
Sorry.
the second goal, it just got really scrappy. Burn and Haaland having a
Aye,
bit of a to and fro.
aye. Forget Fury and Jake Paul. That's a boxing match I wouldn't mind to see.
I think I'm gonna
Uh,
have to get that on the thumbnail. Haaland, when he smiles at him afterwards, I was like, wow, he's just a fucking Nordic murderer. And he's
it's a proper
cold.
Viking, aye. Proper
Cold.
Viking. It was what do you call him, Bjorn from Vikings. He reminds me of.
Uh,
But
and then
yeah,
Joe
Byrne
Linton,
had him by the shirt, didn't he? And
yeah,
all
and he
like
just
face to face. I
smiled at
was
him.
like, ooh,
Yeah,
tasty.
that would have been some colossal bout.
Aye, would have been a
Big
good
Dan
one.
Burn and Haaland.
Heavyweight clash.
Yeah, and then Joe Linton, Joe Linton goes in unnecessarily for a tackle that he knows he's not going to get the ball. Just unnecessary tackle, yellow
Hmm.
card, too much ban.
Yeah. I
Now, in
mean,
one way, I suppose if it happened at the next two games, so we've got Wolves and Forest, then he would miss the Man United and Tottenham game. So it's probably good that he's missing Wolves and Forest.
yeah,
But
that's what I was going
still,
to say. I mean, it's not like he's not going to go the rest of the season without getting another yellow
I
card,
know
is he?
exactly.
So yeah, they're the two games you probably, like you say, well, you don't want to miss in any games, but when you're sitting on 9 yellow cards, it's only a matter of time till the
Yeah,
10th comes. So yeah, I mean, he does pick up a lot of yellow cards, but that's because he's such a strong and physical player. You wouldn't
yeah.
want to take that out of the game. It comes with the territory.
No, he does.
Um,
He gives everything. He does give everything.
so yeah, I mean, but yeah, once the second goal went in, we were never getting back into it really, were we?
No,
I think we all knew, but I mean, we weren't expecting anything from the game, were we? Really,
no,
when
not
you
really.
when you looked at it, the current form, their current form, away from home at the Etihad, you know, um, it was it was never going to be a win, really. So you move onwards and you
Yeah.
look forward. So you've got an opportunity of getting some points
Well, the
against the
next
next two
two
games.
games, and obviously we'll do previews for them.
Yeah,
But the
yeah,
next two games, Wolves and Forest, are absolutely crucial 3 pointers if we want
aye,
to stay in the top four race. And luckily, Tottenham got beat by
yeah.
Wolves yesterday.
Wolves did us a favour yesterday, didn't
They
they?
did. Hopefully, that doesn't give them too much confidence for next Saturday when they come to St James's. But I think at home, I think the ground's going to be absolutely jumping. First home game after the cup and that. I
Hmm.
think it's going to
Hmm.
be a tremendous atmosphere at Wolves.
It needs to
Um,
be.
yeah, and I
Needs to
think,
be.
well, I hope Isaac starts. I hope. But yeah, we'll talk about that in the
Yeah,
preview.
I
Um,
mean, look at no. Just to summarise, I mean, I know it's what's 3 defeats on the bounce, but you look,
3-2
we've
nils on
played,
the bounce, eh?
we've played 3 difficult teams, haven't we?
We have.
I mean,
We have.
Liverpool's never an easy game. Man U in a final.
Who are in the
Man
best form
City.
in the league, Man United, without a doubt,
Mhm,
best form in the
Man
league.
City away.
Yeah,
So it just makes these next two games absolutely huge
yeah,
because if we don't really get 6 points from the next two games, we're we could start seeing the season slip away from us a little bit, and I really don't want that.
yeah. We're going to be looking
Again, I'm
look
still happy
behind
where
them.
we are. We've still got it, everything sort of in our hands, so to
Yeah,
speak. But then you went, like you say, was it Tottenham and Man U after that?
Mhm.
2 hard back-to-back games. So it just makes these next 2 games crucial, absolutely crucial.
Yeah, I don't know if it's back to back, but I know in April we've got Man U first, 2nd of April, and I know we've got Tottenham in April. But yeah, the next 2 games are absolutely crucial because we're looking behind you now, and Brentford are there, Fulham's there, Brighton. Wow, the form Brighton are in, and they've got. I think they've got 2 games in hand over the rest. I think they've got 1 game in hand over us, maybe 2. I can't remember exactly, but yeah, they're looking for top 4.
Yeah, I know. And deservedly so. Deservedly so. They've got a good team.
Yeah,
Brighton. They've got a really, really good team.
I got Matoma in me FPL team.
Oh, yeah.
Got 13 points yesterday.
No.
I love his class player, Matoma.
I'm sinking like a stone in the FPL.
I'm top of most of my leagues. So.
Well, I mean, today, ironically enough, we want the last team we really want to win. We want to win.
Yeah,
today,
Man U.
don't we? Nah.
Yeah. And I think they will. I think they will.
For us, they need to do us a little bit of a favour because we need to forget about Man U now. Forget about Man U. Like, we're not getting above them. We need to see them beat the teams around us.
Yeah, I think Rashford will skip past Trent. Like, I really think their attack will terrorise that Liverpool defence.
Well, I hope so.
Even though they've got like 2 of the greatest defenders in Robertson and
Van
Dijk, but they just don't look like the Liverpool of the last few years. So fingers crossed, Man United do a favour.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess that's it, isn't it?
That's really it.
We've talked about it. I'm going to be taking your Benz out this afternoon to the arcade.
Yeah,
we're gonna go and I'm gonna braid them on arcade games.
Good lad. I've got to go and help Gaz do a DIY video thing. So, yeah.
Oh well.
People don't know who Gaz is, but you'll see Gaz on one of the videos at some point. So everyone, please remember to like and subscribe and share it to all your friends who are Newcastle fans. It really, really does help with because we want to move the channel forward. Please put in the comments what you thought of the City game, your views, what you think the season's going to look like going forward. Any comments you have for us, please put them in the comments. It does help with the algorithm, apparently, to get us seen. So thank you for all the subscribers. I think we're over 300 now, which is tremendous in only a couple of weeks. So please keep that up. And we will see you in a few days with the Wolves preview.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Excellent. Right. See you all later.
Bye. Come on.
You love saying come on.